First things first, I'd like to say excuse me if I feel more like Dante wearing this costume than I do playing the new Devil May Cry title. I'm gonna be honest, I got a lot of criticisms of it. And my biggest problem, strangely enough, even though you'd think it's the costume, it's not the costume. I just wanted to look pretty. My biggest issue is with this thing that they emphasized over everything else, which was the story, which ended up being a real train wreck. So, what's wrong with this picture? That's right. Don't call me a hater for having not gone through this. I actually went through and purchased this game, played through this game, decided to hate it afterwards because I had my own reasons. But first, onto the story, because there are just so many plot holes in this new one that I can't get. For example, there's the whole angel thing. Why exactly are you going to introduce angels as a plot point if the angels aren't even going to be a part of the story? I mean, yeah, there's another Nephilim in there, but that's just a giant lawn gnome. But angels. Now, they alluded at this giant war between the demons and the angels, but we don't see a single angel in the entire story except for a flashback of Dante and Virgil's mother. So what exactly is this angel war that's always been going on, is still going on, but we don't even see anything of? I mean, are the angels sitting on their asses and just letting humans take control? Probably not. I mean, there's the whole thing with archangels of revenge and that kind of shit, so I'd expect some holy fire going on, but I don't see a single bit of it. Now, there's also the whole idea behind limbo, which is that alternate dimension which everything bad happens in it. Now, there's a big issue with limbo because apparently about a good 80% of the stuff that happens in limbo does not even affect the real world at all, even though we're under the impression that it should. The only time we really see the stuff in limbo affect the stuff in reality is when the church tower falls and also the Ferris wheel. So for the rest of the entire game, and this is very evident in the car chase mission. The entire city is falling apart around you for this whole thing, and there's no huge evidence of some kind of massive damage or anything like that, or some kind of coverage. No, everyone's just minding their business while all these roads start crumbling, all these buses start flying everywhere. You just don't see a single repercussion of everything. And as far as repercussions go, this new Dante had zero character growth. Now, a lot of people are going to argue with me that, oh, but he grew into a more likable person. I'm gonna tell you what I saw. I think that Dante, at the end of this game, is just finished off the exact way he started. He just doesn't care. He just can't connect with anyone, not even Kat. I mean, just the few couple of lines that they share are really just, yeah, stuff happened in my past. That's cool. I know. I'm all tortured because of it. Cool story, bro. Tell it again. That's what they do. That's seriously what it's like. I mean, I know I horribly paraphrased it, but that's all I'm getting out of it. And as far as Kat goes, she's just a giant missed opportunity. Okay, this could have been the one thing that would have defined this game, but she just ended up falling flat as a person. And I'm not going on the whole she sprays squirrel semen on everything. There's something else to it in that, like I just mentioned, she could have been Dante's chance to build into a different character, to build into a bigger person, and also to become that devil hunter that we're supposed to find respectable. But that's not exactly how it goes out. See, the problem is that she doesn't do anything that really fosters any kind of change in him. I mean, she just made him, not care about somebody dying for once, but they also really could have capitalized on that. I mean, when Dante was all like, you got to give yourself up, you have to live in mission 11, I think it was. They really could have given Dante a chance to grow as a character by killing Kat. And not because I hate her, but because she really could have been an agent of change to him, and but by giving her the Joss Whedon treatment, that a character really sometimes can't grow unless somebody important dies to them. I don't even think she became important to him. I mean, it's pretty obvious that nobody became important to him, not even his own brother, who, by the way, he tried to kill in cold blood at the end of the game. And call me crazy, but I think Virgil was actually the good guy here. I mean, I think we actually misheard everything he said. This whole humans make mistakes and they're frail and stuff like that. Well, in all honesty, when their Mundus was in charge, humans were docile. They were pacified. I mean, that sounds terrible, but they weren't having any wars. And then here comes Mr. Agent of Change, old Dante and Virgil, and they decide that they're going to fuck your shit up, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're terrorists. That's really what they do. They blow shit up, and they don't have any consequences for it. I mean, even Mundus said, don't you have enough freedom as it is? See what you've been doing? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who sees it this way. Maybe I'm just being a hater. Nah. No, I really did actually try to look through this game and figure out what exactly was going on, but every step of the way I just felt like I kept getting gypped. And it wasn't just limited to the whole game itself. I mean, they excluded Bloody Palace mode, and they also added and they also had this, download chapter which was supposed to be paid for. I mean, I did a pre-order for the game just to avoid getting the DLC for it. And it even down to a base level. I mean, I don't even got an instruction manual in this. I already feel gypped. I mean, where's the promotional material? I mean, take a look at this. First game. Instruction manual. Second game. Yeah, that's right. I have a copy of the second game. Instruction manual. Third game. Instruction manual. Fourth game. Metal case. Instruction manual. Bonus materials DVD. And also, if I can find it here, I still had the anime DVD that came with it. Alright, this was actually good promoting here. And then there's this. This is even part of the Devil May Cry series. It's got Dante in it. Check it out. I even got an instruction manual of that. So, cutting corners on just about every aspect of this product led me to make an opinion on it. And I can't get myself to play this game, even just to record cutscenes from it. It seems like it's such a chore. I mean, I have to sit through the story. I have to play this streamlined gameplay, which requires me to hold 5 buttons at one time to execute a combo, because it's supposed to be the next direction and we don't need the lock-on feature. Oh, and there's also the dopey acting. Yeah, I could not stand Tim Phillips as Dante. I don't know what it is. It's like I've seen this kind of quality of acting in Twilight, and I didn't even watch Twilight. It's just a trailer. I mean, seriously, this was the best they could do. I mean, and there's also this whole thing where Nero is getting a lot of shit from fans of this new series, and I actually want to kind of come to Nero's defense here. I mean, sure, he was voiced by Bosch, which is usually a reason to quickly dislike somebody, but he had a couple of things going for him that this new Dante didn't have. He actually grew as a person throughout the game. He came to accept himself for who he is at the end of the game, and also he got laid, so that's kind of a bonus in my book. Okay, so maybe I wasn't supposed to say that, but the characters in this new game, aside from their dopey acting and their plot hole-ridden story, and also their wonderfully masterful gameplay mechanics, I've found the characters to be a dreadful bore. Dante had about as much personality as he had about as much personality as a week-old hot dog. Kat, there was a lot of potential for her character, but she ultimately failed. And then there's Virgil, who decided he was going to trip over everything that he saw in this new game. The only moment that he had where he didn't fall flat on his face was in Mission 3, where he threw a knife at someone. That's it. I mean, for the rest of the game, he's like tripping, falling over. He's also, and this is also during your boss fight with him, because Virgil was always, in the old game, Virgil was just better than you. He was a better fighter. He was tougher. It was all about skill. That was the only way that you could take him down. And in this game, they made it clearly obvious that this new Dante is stronger. This new Dante doesn't have to worry about the consequences of his actions, and he's just, I don't know, it's like they took on the opinion that this new guy that they made was completely blameless. I'll admit that the old Dante had his faults. The old Dante had his faults. And his fault was he was a fucking nutcase, okay? He was riding on missiles. He was screaming like an idiot. And honestly, he was looking like he was having the time of his life. That's really what I'm missing out of this new DMC. Where's the fun factor? I mean, yeah, they have this serious story going on, but where is this? But the thing that made the original Dante so endearing is that he was actually a fun person. I mean, even in the first game where he seemed much more serious, he always had an insult to throw, and he just seemed like he was having fun doing everything. Whereas this new Dante, no matter what he's doing, all I hear is fuck you, and fuck you, and I'm your prom date, you ugly sack of shit. That's all he is. It's really all he is. And Mundus, I have no idea what they were going with him. He doesn't seem like this big almighty destroyer, being that when you actually fought him in game, he only had 3 moves, and that was Spit Lava, Mega Buster, and Punch. That's it. I mean, if this is how you're going to evolve the game, you gotta offer something more than the original. The original Mundus, what I really liked about him was that he seemed like he controlled the entire universe when you fought him. I mean, a rainstorm of fireballs, lightning, just giant ass rocks, needles, thousands and thousands of thousands of needles. All of this heading towards you. Oh yeah, and also it hurts when he smacks you, but he had a bigger moveset. And that's also another issue that was with the bosses, is that they really don't have the kind of movesets that any of the previous game bosses did. It was literally just, they did their smash attack, they did their area effect attack, and the only bosses that actually moved around were the Hunter, Eraserhead, and also Virgil, who I was still disappointed by his boss fight, simply because this is something that I've already done before. I did it 3 times in Devil May Cry 3. He borrows a lot from the same moveset. They added a couple of things to make him interesting and unique, but it was just too much of the same. I'd already done this. I wanted something new. When you promise a rebirth and something new, and you change everything about what the characters are, but you don't give them enough to play with, it's just not worth your time. It wasn't worth mine. I mean, it was worth $65 because of downloadable content and just paying for the game. So your lasting legacy to me, DMC Devil May Cry, is that you injured my wallet and I'm out to get you. I will make fun of your game to no end. I'm having issues with it because I'm forced to play your game just to make fun of it. In all honesty, sometimes I just want to do this. But I can't. So, DMC Devil May Cry, you disappointed me. You dropped the ball on a lot of different things. You made a lot of promises that you didn't keep. And also, another thing is, you tried too hard to be this game, and you didn't live up to it. You borrowed Limbo from this series. You borrowed a lot of moves from this character, and also, you openly said that you tried to make a better combat system than Kamiya did, and you clearly didn't deliver on that. So, you suck. End of story. And also, in Ninja Theory News, they're offering this internship for cinematography, where if anybody who works for this company had any clue, they'd all sign up for this internship, and they'd learn a little something about making a story and about putting everything together. So till then,